Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. Jessica.
Raven.
What's your favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Is it?
Is it a holiday though?
Yeah, I count it.
Cool. Then yeah.
Fuck anyone who says it's not a holiday.
I just like wearing costumes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be our Halloween episode. It's coming
really...
out the day after Halloween.
Oh, shit.
Guess what I have? Bam, bitch.
Whoa.
Bam, bitch.
Whoa.
Bam, bitch.
Damn, she brought a bunch of candy.
I brought chocolate.
After a particularly filling dinner.
Yeah. I didn't count on the dinner being filling, so we don't have to eat it.
The coffee crisps, though. That's my jam.
Yeah.
Those and Mr. Biggs.
Did you know Coffee Crisp is a Canadian thing?
I think I've seen that on
They
YouTube
don't-
where they're doing like, we're gonna eat this country's candies, and then they did Canada and they did Coffee Crisp, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's exclusive to Canada.
Canada?
Have I ever told you that when I was in Spain, I met some American people? They were saying Canada weird.
Well,
They would say Canada.
I like that.
It's like
Canada.
Canada.
Kind of sounds like hick
Ye-
accent.
Yeah, it was very American.
Canada.
And then I corrected them and said, "You're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong." They're like, "Okay, how do you say it?" And I was like, "It's Canada."
I heard you guys fucking with them, like doing the fake accent and shit.
Yeah.
Remember you telling me about that?
We're saying A at the end of every sentence. We're like, "It's Canada." Idiots.
A.
And we were talking about how we like would ride our polar bears to work every day, and they would believe us.
Oh man.
It was fun.
But then again, these are kids.
Yeah, I say work, but at the time I said school, I think, because we were all teenagers.
It's been so long.
Yup. We old as fuck now.
Not really. But we feel like it.
I feel my body's broken.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna die soon. Anyway, I'm gonna cut that out.
You're like, I wish.
Hopefully.
Any day now.
Please, God, strike me down. Okay. So this is our Halloween episode. What are you dressing up as?
Princess Carolyn from BoJack Horseman.
I don't watch that show.
Well, I do, and I love it. And I've been working on this costume for a year.
Yeah, I just made like a little stamp of a fish out of a sponge.
Yeah.
And she's been stamping a dress.
My green dress.
To give it a fish pattern.
Yeah. I just made the necklace, and I'm so proud of it.
I'm gonna look up the character right now. I forget what she looks like.
Like, I literally just made the necklace. Like, I was, like, freaking out because I had no idea what to do with it. And then I made it, and it was perfect.
Wow, nice.
Like, I can run and grab it just to show it to you because I'm so proud.
Oh, okay. Do it.
Ah, shit.
So this necklace looks like a upside down Triforce. Aww.
I totally made it out of clay.
Aww. Is that why you bought that clay?
Yeah. Also, I really like playing with clay. But it's perfect. I'm so happy.
Very cute. It definitely looks very cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's a pink cat.
Yeah.
Do you have like a pink wig or something? Like,
I do have a pink wig and I got pink face makeup and I was going to wear that, but I'm like, I really don't want to ride the bus.
all in pink?
That.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to spray my hair pink and
Pink kitty ears.
just do the cat face but without the whole pink makeup.
Mm-hmm. You should get pink stockings.
I do. I have
Oh.
pink stockings. I have like pink fishnet
Gloves.
arm thingies.
Okay. Cool.
I have the whole thing. It's
a yellow cardigan.
Everything is good. Everything is great.
Yeah. Nice.
I even made like a little Bluetooth thing to put on her ear. Because she's always on the phone.
Oh, is that right? I feel like you wanted to be Princess Carolyn last year. What happened to that? Didn't you?
No, I was Tina, but usually around this time of the year is when I start preparing for next year's costume.
I see.
So I was really excited. I guess Tina, I was like, okay, next year I'm going as Princess Carolyn. I was so excited.
I see. I put no effort into my costume this year.
Yeah, you don't have a costume this year? It was just your onesie?
I put no effort into it, yeah. I have a onesie from last year of a skeleton. I went to a Halloween party last night and just wore that. And then I put on like dark eye makeup because I was like, how do I make myself look more spooky? It was funny. I went with Brandon and Christine, our friends, and we were all so like tired and like we had just eaten a huge meal and we were all like full, like had stomach aches, and we go to this party.
Oh no.
I had like 2 drinks. We kind of wandered around, sat around, ate some snacks, and then we fucking bounced. We were there for like maybe an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're so antisocial. I love that we were all on the same level though.
That's always nice.
Yeah, Christine like walks over at one point. She's like, "So when do you guys want to leave?" And Brandon and I shared a cookie, and we're like, "I think we're good." 26-year-olds going to a party.
I mean,
oh, they're both 28. I'm 26.
They're my
age. Yeah. This is what being an adult is like. You leave the party at 9:30.
It's bedtime, bitch.
Yeah. To be fair, I had gotten up at 5 that morning, so.
Ew. How can you even consider going to a party?
Yeah. And then we went back to Christine's place and we watched Get Out.
Ooh.
Yep, and it was their first time watching it. So I enjoyed listening to them speculate about what might be happening.
Oh.
When I already knew the answers. That's always fun. Mm-hmm. You've seen Get Out, right?
No.
Wait. Yes, you have.
What's that one? Which one's Get Out?
Get Out is about the black guy who goes to meet his white
I haven't
girlfriend's
seen it.
family. The
No.
Jordan Peele one? You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Jessica! Oh my god.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, it's a really, really good movie. You have to watch it. Why are you making that sound?
Maybe.
Why maybe?
I don't know. I have like a hard time watching movies.
It's so good. You'll love it.
Okay.
I know you'll love it. It's funny, but it's also a horror movie. Anyway, that's enough chatter. What are we drinking today, Jess?
It's like the pumpkin spice chai tea. Yeah?
Fuck me up, daddy.
Man, I was excited about pumpkin spice season. I love me my pumpkin spice.
We're white enough to love our pumpkin spice.
Basic enough.
That's good. That's a chai?
Yeah, it's a chai tea.
Nice.
Very nice.
So, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing Chapter 31, Tyrion, to Chapter 33, I'm guessing, which is... Eddard.
Ned, I mean. Fuck.
Eddard.
I see Eddard. I want to see Ed.
Yeah. So where did we leave off our characters?
So I only did like the last 3 chapters from the last episode because it's less confusing for me.
Okay.
So, Cat takes Tyrion prisoner. Drunk Sandor Clegane tells Sansa how he got his scars. And Ned feels hopeful that together he and King Robert will prosecute the Lannisters. Oh, poor Ned.
Oh, Ned. The rose-colored glasses. Okay.
Oh shit, this is my chapter.
Yeah, it's probably the only chapter you have.
For this episode? Yeah.
Fucking hell. There's been so many of my chapters lately. I, like, need a break. At one point I heard that George R.R. Martin said it was pronounced Sansa.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Sansa?
Yeah. I think Sophie Turner actually said that. Because, like, she was getting interviewed by people who were calling her Sansa. And she was like, it's Sansa. Or Sansa. Whatever in her accent. So, but yeah, Sansa? I don't know.
Sounds a bit pretentious. Like, it's not Sansa, it's Sansa. Sansa.
Right? It's not Leviosa. It's Leviosa.
It reminds me. Oh, man.
My laugh is weird right now. It's like a wheeze. Because I've still got like a phlegmy throat. So if my voice sounds husky.
So recovering sick. Oh, you know what's exciting? I got my flu shot.
Oh.
At work, they have a nurse come in and give free flu shots at one. Well,
What the
it's
fuck?
always free. We're in Canada. But it's
But
so
then
easy.
it's like a time thing.
Mhm.
It's like you have to make an appointment.
You know, and I'm just like, do I want a break from work? Hell yeah, I do.
You want to stick me with a needle so I don't have to work?
I actually forgot how stiff it makes your muscle. Damn, I couldn't lift my arm.
Oh, shit.
Mm-mm.
I haven't had a needle in so long, so yeah.
Like, it goes straight into your muscle. Vaccine in your muscle. And it's like, it feels like cement. Like, you can't move it. And it's like, well, you can, but it kind of hurts.
Oh, shit.
Like, it's not like super painful, but it's like, this isn't right. It doesn't feel good. But it was like stiff as fuck. And I was like, I haven't had this sensation in 10 years.
Yeah. Damn. Well, it's nice that you got it.
That was exciting.
I probably need to get, like, my vaccinations done again. Because they expire after, like, 10 years.
Damn.
At least the tetanus one does.
I remember we got a bunch of vaccinations in grade 11. And that was that.
See, I don't remember when the last time it was. But if yours was grade 11, then mine probably was, too.
Yeah. It was,
So that was,
should
like...
be around high school time. Like, I think grade 11s were given the vaccinations.
So that's almost 10 years for me.
Gotta hit up that doctor.
That is 11 years for you.
Yeah, I've graduated high school a decade ago.
Yeah. So you should probably get your tetanus shot again, too.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get the hips done.
Yeah. Get the hips.
The hips.
Get the hips. All right. Fucking Tyrion.
Excuse me. Chicken.
See, that sounds like a racial slur.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It's. I was confused when I first read this in here. Look, that's someone's name. Chicken.
You know why? Do you know Rich Brian, the artist?
What?
Rich Brian. He's a rapper.
Okay.
He used to be called Rich Chigga. And it was like, and he's Asian, so Chigga was his version of the N-word.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds like a racial slur to me. Chigga.
Okay.
Anyway, go on. Who's Chiggin?
He's one of the dudes in Cat's party, I guess.
Okay.
Yep. Chiggin is butchering Tyrion's horse. That was a gift from Jaime on his 23rd name day. Did we determine how old Tyrion is? 29?
Jaime and Cersei are 30.
Yeah.
So Tyrion, he's only a year younger?
Is he? Or
No,
is he like
I
28?
thought he was a couple years younger.
28? Damn.
Like 27, 28.
Okay, so he's had this horse for around 5 years.
Yeah. And he's around your age.
Shit.
Now
Now I feel like a dumb fuck.
Peter Dinklage was how old?
In his 40s, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe close to 50s. Maybe he's in his 50s. I don't know.
I have no... How old is Peter Dinklage?
Alexa, how old is Peter
I
Dinklage?
don't have an Alexa.
I don't. Maybe we should get one.
He is 50. So yeah, he was 40
So he was
something.
in his 40s.
Wait, it was 10 years ago, so he would have been 40. 39 or 40.
Damn!
Yeah.
The group is going to eat horse tonight.
So they butcher Tyrion's horse so that they can eat it in front of him.
Well, he gets some horse too.
So they're eating his horse.
Yeah. He bitterly remembers his capture of the 50 people in the inn. Only a dozen had risen to help Lady Stark. I didn't quite get that
Yeah.
from the end of that Cat's chapter, but damn.
Yeah, because her perspective is different.
Yeah.
So Tyrion thinks it's smart of her to call everyone out on their loyalty before accusing Tyrion, because then if she calls them out and they had already said, yeah, I'm loyal, and then they don't do something, that makes them look like scumbags.
Yeah.
But if she's just out of the blue, like, this guy tried to kill my son, get him.
Yeah,
and then they don't react, then it's like that.
Excuse me, Lady Stark, that's a Lannister.
Yeah. Then they have, like, a better excuse to have not acted.
True.
Yeah, but then her chapter ended with, like, the satisfying sound of, like, however many swords being drawn at once. A dozen swords.
And that's what he says here. There's only a dozen.
Yeah, so to her, that's, like, a good feeling.
Yeah.
But when Tyrion looks at it, he's like...
There was only a few of them.
It was only a dozen out of 50.
And the phrase didn't budge.
The phrase didn't budge, yeah.
These guys.
Yeah.
Tyrion had tried to reason, but Lady Stark had shown the scars on her hands, saying that his blade did this, making everyone angry. Kat asks for volunteers to... I should have called her Catelyn, whatever. Asks for volunteers to help bring him to Winterfell, promising a big reward, and a few sellswords jumped at the chance. Tyrion was immediately pulled from the inn, and he was bound in a heavy sack is placed over his head.
Oh, I thought you said he was bound in a heavy sack.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh. I imagine them putting him in a sack and then, like, tying it around the neck.
Yeah, there was an and I just said in. And I was like, let's keep going if she wants to catch it.
But how hilarious would that be? Tie him in a sack?
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. And he was carried around like a bunch of potatoes.
Over someone's back?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was bound, and a heavy sack is placed on his head.
Okay.
And they ride off. Tyrion wasn't afraid because he knew that word would spread and Lannister soldiers would soon catch up to them. The singer had followed to make a great song.
Fucking Marillion.
Yeah, isn't he annoying?
He's so annoying!
He was trying to make up a song on the road, trying to rhyme imp with gimp and limp.
Wow. Thanks, Marillion.
Yeah, thanks.
Fucking nailed it.
Man, like, how do they all put up with him?
Right?
Mm-mm. At dawn, they had dismounted and the hood was removed from Tyrion's head. They were on a narrow, stony road surrounded by foothills, and all hope left him. They were headed to the Eyrie. Catelyn Stark had outwitted him at every turn.
Wait, I don't think you said how.
How she outwitted him?
Yeah.
By shouting constantly, "We're heading to Winterfell!" while taking them to the Eyrie. Yeah.
So, like, even back in the bar, she was
like everyone thinks they're heading to Winterfell.
We're going to Winterfell! So that word will get back to the Lannisters that they're going to Winterfell. So that they won't be able to catch up to them on the road to the Eyrie.
Hell yeah.
It's very smart of her.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still in your shit list?
Yes.
After their second night, they had stopped binding him, knowing he could no longer escape.
Wait, how would he... Just because they're far enough that he
like,
wouldn't be able to
way.
get very far? Okay.
By himself with all of the clansmen, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrion's horse is the third horse to have died because of how hard they're riding. Oh, so they wasn't just
They're
butchered.
eating multiple horses.
Yeah, the horses are dying because of how hard they're going. They're like,
oh, if that
that's
was
me.
dead, might as well eat it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fresh.
Delicious. I guess. I don't know how horse tastes.
Yeah.
The
I
night...
don't want to.
Did you say you want to?
I don't want to. I don't want to eat a horse.
Me either. I think the meat would be tough because of how strong and muscular they are.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like, I don't even think about that shit, Jess. Okay. The knights are trying to reason with Lady Stark to slow down, and Tyrion pipes up that there's a small chance that the Lannisters would catch up to them. He argues that each mount they lose burdens the group, and they risk losing him because of he's not that strong.
They risk losing Tyrion himself.
Yeah. They risk losing Tyrion because he's not strong enough to keep up with them on his feet.
Oh, yeah, because he's on his feet now.
Yeah.
So he's like, chill.
So, like, the
We
more
can't go so
horses
fast,
die,
or I'm
they
gonna
can't
die.
he can't keep traveling on his feet.
Yeah.
Lady Stark is like, your death is the point. And Tyrion is like, if you wanted me dead, we wouldn't be here right now. True that.
True that.
You got her there. They argue about whether or not Tyrion tried to murder Bran, and Tyrion says exasperately, "Only a fool would arm a common footpad with his own blade."
Is exasperately a word? I think maybe you mean exasperatedly.
Yes. Yeah,
But that's also...
Well,
I've never heard that spoken in that way.
Okay.
Okay, it is exasperatedly.
Well, my grammar's off, and I don't know words.
Just fun fact.
But I try.
That's fine. You're good.
And he sees the first hint of doubt in Lady Stark's eyes.
Ooh. Finally. An inkling of doubt.
But then Kat. She says, "But why would Peter lie to me?"
I don't know. Maybe because he's obsessed with you and hates your husband and wants you?
This is the evilest dude. And Tyrion's like, "Oh my fucking god, is that where you're getting your information from?"
He knows right away that she's been duped.
And he says, "You of all people should know that he's a liar."
He's a scumbag. He's the ultimate scumbag.
He then tells her that Littlefinger had told everyone at court that he took her maidenhood, to which Catelyn screams, "That is a lie!"
That is so fucked.
Right? Tyrion asks her, what was Littlefinger's... What was Littlefinger's story about how Tyrion won his blade? Did he tell her that it was when Jaime was unhorsed by Loras? Catelyn admitted it was when the shriek, "Riders!" interrupts them.
Okay, can we pause for a hot second?
Hell yeah.
I want to focus a little more on how big of a scumbag Littlefinger is for saying that shit.
He's gross.
That's actually... See, I think I try to see the good in people. I know from the show that he's a scumbag, but at the start of this book, he talks about his love for Catelyn or whatever. That, like, makes me warm to him a little bit.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with Robert. He had this love for Lyanna, and I was like, okay, like, I've warmed to them a little bit, because I'm like, if you're capable of love, then, you know, then you can't be all bad, yeah. So I'm, like, looking for the good in these shitty people.
Yeah.
But then they fuck it up by being fuckheads. Like, Robert was only obsessed with Lyanna's looks. Littlefinger was saying this shit about taking Catelyn's virginity when it's not true.
Like, I don't think he was in love with Cat. I think he was more, like, infatuated.
He just chose her.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's the one. And the second
That's my beauty.
Other people started going after her, he was like, no, I chose her. She's mine. But I'm sorry, I'm so pissed. I'm getting very passionate about this.
Whoa, Raven.
Yeah, let's have a sip of tea and chill a little bit. It's fictional characters, Raven.
I mean, you're gonna hate it when we start getting to the parts where he's latching on Sansa.
Sansa.
We're just gonna be nasty.
Yeah. Riders!
Catelyn starts shouting instructions, and Tyrion demands a sword. Loras comes springing down the ridge and says there are 20 and 25 men coming. Tyrion says again that he needs a weapon, and Catelyn laments. Is that how I say it?
Laments.
Catelyn laments, saying, "Someone arm him." Bronn rides up and gives him a double-bladed axe.
This is the first chapter that has Bronn in it, eh? It's the first time he's named?
Yeah, I think this is the chapter where he's named. Because he's kindling a friendship with Tyrion a little bit.
He's gonna be a significant character.
Hopefully.
Actually, yeah. He could totally not be.
Yeah.
I guess the show and the book might be different. Whoa.
Woo. He hides behind a rock with Marillion. What a dumb
It sounded
name.
like you said merrily.
I was. He hides behind a rock with Marillion. Then the riders are on them. Everyone is fighting. A horse jumps over their rock, and Marillion screams. The rider turns the horse around and charges them. Tyrion jumps up and swings his axe into the horse's throat. Tyrion manages to yank out the axe and jump away as the horse falls right on Marillion.
What a badass.
Yeah.
Also, fuck Marillion.
Yeah. Die.
So annoying.
He doesn't. Spoilers. Tyrion buries his axe into the rider's neck and advises Marillion to play dead. Tyrion runs along the outside of the battle, getting a leg here and there, and then he hears Lady Stark scream. She's cornered by 3 men clutching a dagger. She's clutching the dagger, not the men.
Oh, okay.
Tyrion thinks, let them take the bitch, but finds himself moving against his will and takes the first man behind the knee. He lunges at the second man, who reels backwards, and Lady Stark jumps up and opens his neck with her dagger.
Yeah.
The third man suddenly remembers an important engagement and takes off.
I fucking love that. Yeah. Is that how it was written in the book?
It was.
I fucking love
great.
that. He remembers an important engagement and runs off. That's fabulous.
It was funny. Tyrion turns around and the battle is over. Wounded men lay around screaming and moaning. Bronn approaches Tyrion and says, there's nothing like a woman after a man's been blooded. Tyrion looks at Lady Stark and says, I'm willing if she is, making all of the free riders laugh.
At least consent is important to him.
Good guy, Tyrion. Looking at the dead clansmen, he sees that they're all thin and ragged. Even their horses are small and skinny. Their weapons are cheaply made and rusty. Lady Stark wants to cover their dead with rocks, but everyone is like, nope, they're gonna come back. We have to go. Tyrion gets to keep the axe, and they continue. Merlion has broken his wood harp, several ribs, and all 4 of his fingers on his playing hand.
Ha!
Nice.
Fuck you, Merlion.
As they travel away, they hear the growls of shadow cats as they descend on the dead, and Merlion goes pale. Shadow cats. Tyrion trots up to him and says, Craven rhymes with raven, and trots up to join Catelyn Stark.
Craven means coward, by the way. I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
I'm telling them
As I was saying, there's a serious flaw in Littlefinger's fable. I never bet against my family.
Says Tyrion.
End of chapter.
I like that ending.
Mm-hmm.
I never bet against my family.
Right? And I'm like, makes sense. That sounds
like a Lannister.
like Tyrion.
Yeah, he wouldn't bet against his family.
Damn.
So, Tyrion may not, in fact, be the one who wanted Bran dead. What could it mean?
Shit, someone is lying here.
Yeah. I wonder who. Where is Kat getting her info from? So, a couple things about this chapter. This is Tyrion's first time killing people, right?
Mm-hmm.
He seems severely unaffected. Which, I mean, I guess maybe that's normal if you grow up in an environment where that's, like, an honorable thing.
Especially, like, with, like, an older brother who is known for killing. And it's just in his family. His whole family just are known for being dangerous.
Kill this, kill that.
I think Cersei had some, like, of her servants killed as a kid by, like, blaming them for stealing things just for amusement or something.
Oh my god!
Like, I think this is something, like,
Did it say that in the book?
I think it might be somewhere.
Like, we haven't reached it yet?
Probably.
Okay, holy shit. Also, Merlion seems like he's a super significant character, like, in this book. Like, it's spending a decent amount of time on him.
Right?
But he's not in the show at all. Which, thank God, because he's annoying as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, is he not? Like, is there no bard at the inn? I'm pretty sure there was.
There was, but he doesn't, like, go with them. And
yeah.
He's just a guy singing at the inn.
Yeah.
It just makes me wonder what his significance is for being there.
The annoyance.
But story-wise, why would George choose to
Add a bard following them around?
have them... Like, we're not completely done with this storyline,
Yeah.
so something could still happen. I'm just speculating.
True.
Anyway, so Tyrion promises that he never bets against his family. And I was like, oh, this is significant. Maybe it's like a setup for some character growth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the future at some point he will learn to bet against his family. Dun, dun.
Oh, shit.
Just a couple of observations.
Nice ones.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Wow, thank you. Ready for chapter 32?
Arya.
Arya!
I was excited
My girl.
with this chapter because it starts off with the Red Keep is full of cats. I'm like, Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Sounds like my kind of play.
Fucking cat people.
That's me.
Okay. Chapter 32, Arya. Arya has been catching cats a ton. Sirio, her dancing teacher, has kept her at it day and night until Arya's hands and arms are covered in scratches.
Sounds like me.
I feel like every cat owner is just covered in scratches.
Cats have claws. It's a part of having a cat.
Yeah, dogs have teeth.
But they're nowhere near as sharp as claws. Nowhere near.
One time, when Arya went to Sirio with bleeding hands, Sirio called her slow. just like no pity for her at all.
Get better.
Yeah, he's like, do better, bitch. He then dabbed her wounds with mirrorish fire, which hurt so bad Arya almost screamed. What the hell is this shit?
Is it like pure alcohol or something?
I don't know.
Is it called mirrorish fire because you can light it aflame?
Maybe. I love how George just casually drops this kind of shit where we have no idea what it is, but then he just moves on without an explanation.
Yep. This is the world you're in.
Yeah, he does it a lot. It's actually, yeah, I like it. I think it works well.
Yep.
It's hard not to explain things immediately the second you bring them up in a story. The Red Keep is full of cats, and Arya has chased them all down one by one and brought them to Sirio. All except for the one-eared black tomcat she is currently stalking. A gold cloak, which I think is like a castle guard?
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, she thinks of this person as a gold cloak. A gold cloak once told her that that cat snatched a roast quail right out from under Lord Tywin's nose. Today, Arya has chased this cat all throughout the castle, and now she has him cornered. As she approaches, she thinks to herself, quiet as a shadow, light as a feather, quick as a snake. These are words I'm assuming she learned from Sirio. Then she lunges and she grabs the cat. She's done it! Then behind her, she hears someone say, what's he doing to that cat? Let me try that again.
Nice Hermione. Fresh.
What's he doing to that cat? Arya drops the cat and whirls around to see Princess Myrcella and Prince Tommen standing at the end of the alley with a septa and 2 Lannister house guards. Myrcella asks Arya what she's doing to that cat, but she calls Arya boy. Tommen also seems to think that Arya is a boy. Arya realizes that they don't recognize her. She's dirty and barefoot with tangled hair and wearing scratched up clothes. And Arya knows that if they do recognize her, she is totally screwed. Septa Mordain would have a fit, and Sansa would never speak to her again from the shame. So Princess Myrcella's septa says Arya isn't allowed in this part of the castle. The septa then orders the guard to take her, though always calling Arya boy and him. Mm-hmm. This is significant. Will be significant. As the guard comes towards Arya, Arya slips around him and slides between the septa's legs and knocks Tommen to the ground. She flees through the castle, running and running until she is thoroughly lost and the guards are gone. Arya ends up in a pitch-dark cellar, where she hunkers down to catch her breath. When they had first come to King's Landing, Arya used to have bad dreams about getting lost in the castle, even though her father had told her the Red Keep was smaller than Winterfell.
I was like, hold up. Hold up, bitch. What? I'm a bit surprised that it is smaller.
Smaller than Winterfell? It's just the castle.
I guess so.
When I first read this, I was also confused. I thought it was saying King's Landing was smaller than Winterfell. And that's when I was like, no. You told me that 30 Winterfells could fit in King's Landing earlier. Like, this is a fucking lie. You're lying to me. But no, it was just the Red Keep.
Just Keep.
But the Red Keep is just a castle.
Like, but I was just imagining, like, the castle that the king would be in should be huge.
But it is. If you're saying Winterfell isn't small, it has a whole forest in it.
True.
If you're saying that the Red Keep, like, if the Red Keep is big enough that you would have to say it's smaller than Winterfell, then I think it's pretty fucking huge.
You know what? You're right. I forgot what the forest is.
Yeah, like if you think of Winterfell from the show, it's quite small.
Yeah, it's not the cute little garden. It's a fucking forest.
Yeah, there's a whole ass forest in it. As Arya's eyes adjust to the darkness, she notices shapes around her. Huge empty eyes and long teeth. Monsters. And she's afraid.
Aww.
She closes her eyes and pretends Sirio is with her, whispering to her, "Calm as still water, strong as a bear, fierce as a wolverine." When she opens her eyes, she's no longer afraid. God damn, do I wish it was that easy.
Right?
She touches one of the shapes, which is clearly a dragon skull, even though the book doesn't say.
Yeah, she doesn't know that they're dragon skulls.
Yeah, she wouldn't recognize what a dragon skull is, so it makes sense that I wouldn't say it. She tells herself the monster is dead, it can't hurt her, but still she gets a strange feeling, like the empty eyes are watching her. As she backs away slowly, she bumps into a second skull and feels the tooth snag at her, so she freaks out and runs away, the fang ripping her jerkin. Whatever a jerkin is.
Sounds funny.
She heads through a door and finds herself in a hall even darker than the cellar she came from. She's totally blind.
Scary. Oh, you weren't there. I was gonna bring up a memory of going spelunking in Nelson with Eric and Dad.
I went spelunking in Nelson with you.
So did you guys? Oh my god. Do you remember when they shut off all the lights down there and we saw absolute darkness?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. I felt like I was floating. That was scary. I've never experienced that kind of darkness before, and that was nuts.
I honestly don't really remember.
Oh, really?
I remember when it happened, but I don't remember getting any significant feeling when it was dark.
I just remember, like, just losing sensation on my feet and everything. I just felt like I was floating.
Wow.
And the darkness was, like, really impactful on me.
I remember you borrowed my sweatpants.
Did I?
Yeah. And they were new and they were expensive, and you were just crawling around on the dirty ground in them. I was like, can you at least try not to crawl on them? And you didn't give a fuck. You were just ruining my sweatpants.
Sorry, man.
Oh, it's fine. I still have them. They're still good, so.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so she's totally blind. But Arya reminds herself that a water dancer sees with all her senses. So she touches the wall and follows it until she feels a cool draft against her face. She's standing at the top of a great well, and she hears noises below her. Something is coming up the shaft of the well. Okay, what the hell kind of well is this? There's like people coming up the shaft, but also she's leaning over it and listening. But like a well goes straight down, but they're like walking. So I'm just
confused. Like, is it like a well / sewage?
Right? Like, I just have a really hard time picturing what this is, because he just calls it a well.
Yeah, like when I try to imagine it, imagine her like, you know, like when you see those giant sewage systems and like standing up here and like the sewage is down here and like there's like a ladder.
Oh.
I have no idea what to imagine because I could not picture what he was trying to say.
Yeah, maybe it's some sort of like large pipe. But she was leaning over it.
Yeah, so like there was an opening, but they're coming. And there must be walkways around the water.
Weird.
I have no idea.
Yeah, anyway, it's confusing.
I don't know much about medieval architecture.
Architecture. Architecture?
Yup.
Wow.
English is my first language. Actually, it's not.
Fun fact, Jessica started off speaking Espanol.
Yeah, and then I freaking lost it, and Mom stopped speaking to it.
Yeah.
To me when she decided she was going to learn English too. When I started elementary school. Then we both lost it. No, she didn't lose Spanish, but I sure did.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, Arya overhears a conversation between someone of King's Landing and someone of the Free Cities. She can tell by their accents. Also, I was like a little concerned in this moment because the last time we had a Stark overhearing a conversation, he was nearly killed. So it's just like, oh, I don't like this parallel now. Anyway, the first voice says that the rest will come soon. The second voice, the one from the Free Cities, asks what they will do when he learns the truth. The first voice says that he doesn't know. The fools tried to kill his son. He's not the type to put that aside. Quote, the wolf and lion will soon be at each other's throats, whether we will it or no. End quote. So they're clearly talking about Eddard. Eddard, Arya's Fasha. The voice with the accent says that it's too soon, they're not ready for war. The figures then appear out of the well. Arya backs away into the darkness and watches and listens. The torchbearer is a stout man in a leather half-cape, and his feet seem to glide soundlessly over the ground. He has a round, scarred face and a stubble of dark beard. He has a sword at his belt too, and Arya finds him oddly familiar.
I'm like, is that Varys?
You know, it sounds a lot to me like the description that the smithy gave of the guy who paid for Gendry's apprenticeship.
Oh shit! Yeah, and isn't that like the disguise he uses to visit Ned that one time?
I don't think he had scars when he visited Ned, but yeah, the smithy definitely. Well, I'm not gonna say definitely because my memory isn't perfect, but I remember scars and a beard.
Yeah,
is what he said, and stout, also.
Sounds like Varys.
Yeah, so, we don't know that this person's Varys at this point. But we're a little sus. Because we know Varys is the master of disguise.
Yeah. The spider.
And he's also stout. The second man, the one with the accent, is super fat and has a forked yellow beard. Arya doesn't recognize him.
But I do!
Do you? I don't remember who this is.
The guy who was looking after Dany and Viserys.
Oh!
Yeah.
Is that him? I don't remember him having a yellow beard. But he was super fat.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the episode 2 it's him.
Oh shit.
Time to rewatch.
Yeah, holy fuck. I just watched this.
Yeah. Okay,
anyway. This guy says that if one hand can die, why not another?
Dun dun!
The scarred man says that this hand is not the other. The fat man insists that they need more time. The princess is with child, but the Khal will not make a move until his son is born. You know how they are, these savages, he says. The scarred man pushes something and a huge slab of rock slides down from the ceiling and seals up the well until the entry blends in with the floor. Okay, so the entrance is clearly in the floor. We know that much. Why are you making that face?
I'm just so confused.
By this well?
Are they climbing up? Did they climb up a ladder?
See, I don't know if
there stairs.
Stairs? Ladder? Maybe it's like a ramp?
What is this?
How the fuck are they getting out of this well?
Right?
Anyway. So this giant slab of rock seals up the entrance so perfectly that it completely blends in with the floor. And I'm like, damn. That's an epic hidey hole.
Good shit right there.
Where does it lead down there? The scarred man says that if the Khal doesn't take action soon, it may be too late, as this is no longer a game for 2 players. Stannis Baratheon and Lysa Arryn have fled beyond the scarred man's reach, and the whispers say that they are gathering swords around them. The Knight of Flowers writes to Highgarden, urging his Lord Father to send his sister to court. Lord Renly and Sir Loras intend Robert should bed her, wed her, and make a new queen. And Littlefinger's games are entirely unknown. Yet Lord Stark is the one who troubles the scarred man's sleep. He has the bastard and the book, and soon he'll have the truth. And the scarred man knows that Catelyn has abducted Tyrion Lannister as well, and that the Lannisters will not react well to this news. The scarred man says he cannot juggle it all forever. So, I think we learned a lot just now.
I'm curious. Is divorce a thing?
Divorce?
Yeah. Because Renly and Loras are trying to get Robert to marry, what's her face? Marjorie, right?
Yeah. And
what's gonna happen to Cersei then?
Right? Do they...
Is divorce a thing?
Do they divorce? Does he just take a second wife? Do they kill Cersei and get rid of her? Does she just kind of get edged out? Like that's a good question, yeah. What would happen to Cersei?
Is this talking about, like, if the Lannisters get shit?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to distance Robert from Cersei.
Yeah.
Because if he, I don't know, falls in love with some other young girl, then maybe he would be less likely to follow Cersei's bidding.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of been her bitch lately.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, I think we learned a lot just now. This scarred man seems to be being paid to get Khal Drogo to take action against Robert with the Targaryens. Stannis and Lysa seem to have distanced themselves from the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Renly's plan with Sir Loras' sister The one he had a picture of in a locklet. Remember we were, like, talking about this before? We were like, what is this about? Why is he asking Eddard about this girl?
Does it look like Lyanna?
Yeah.
Oh, shit!
You just got it. Yeah, so he wanted to get Robert to fall for her, and that's why he was asking Ned if she looked like Lyanna. Because Robert was in love with Lyanna and was obsessed with how she looked.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Yeah. So Lord Renly and Sir Loras are clearly trying to get Cersei out of the picture. And the bastard in the book are clearly referring to the book on lineages that Ned has recently obtained. And Gendry, Robert's bastard son. Nod. Yeah, so that is a lot of shit. It's just a lot going on. Clearly not a game for 2 people. It's like 8 different things that are happening.
There's a lot of players.
Yeah, shit. A Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
The fat man says he just needs him to be the wizard he knows he is and work his magic a while longer. Then they start walking down the hall, and Arya follows them silently to continue listening. The scarred man says he will do what he can, but he requires gold and another 50 birds. Arya follows them for what feels like miles, only catching snippets of their conversation. Eventually they're gone, and Arya emerges into the night air, standing at the mouth of a stinking sewer. But we got a clue about who the scarred man might be.
Oh my god.
He wants gold and another 50 birds. So,
looks
we
like my
already
guess
said it.
was correct.
Looks like it's Varys. Because he's the spider, and he gets, like, he learns things from his, quote, birds. Which are actually, like, little servant children that run around
Small children.
Listen to people whispering and relay information. Don't know why he calls them birds.
Me neither.
Maybe because birds deliver information in this world?
Sure.
Like,
The
they
ravens?
send a raven to carry a letter. So Arya is filthy. She strips, swims in the nearby river until she's clean, washes her clothes, then heads back to the castle with her wet clothes on. The portcullis is down, so she tries to head through a postern door, which I think is a door just next to the portcullis? Question mark? But the guards say beggars aren't allowed inside and try to send her away. Arya has to explain who her father is to them, but they just laugh at her until she demands that they send for Jory Cassel or Vayon Poole, or her father will have their heads on spikes. Later, Arya is marched into her father's chamber, so clearly they listened and let her in, and sees him bent over a huge book. He chastises her for running off, saying that she knows she isn't supposed to go beyond the castle gates. Arya tries to explain what happened, how she was in the dungeon but ended up outside, and she tells him about the men she had overheard, how they said Ned had a book and a bastard and wanted him dead. She asks if that's the book, the one Ned is looking at, and says she thinks Jon must be the bastard they were talking about. Wrong! Wrong, Arya, wrong! Her father is very confused. Arya continues trying to explain, but she didn't understand everything she'd heard, and it's getting all mixed up in her head.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. She talks about wizards and juggling and monsters. Ned clearly doesn't understand. He thinks the men Arya overheard were mummers, which I think is like a jester, because they seem to be like people who juggle and like do magic for the king's entertainment.
Yeah.
But I've never heard the term mummer.
Me either.
Anyway. Arya doesn't think they were mummers, but they are interrupted by a knock on the door. A black brother is here to see Ned. Ned allows him in, and Yorn of the Night's Watch enters. He introduces himself, bows to Ned and Arya, and says Arya must be Ned's son. Arya's like, for fuck's sake. I'm a girl! She then starts blabbing to him, asking if he passed by Winterfell, if he knows Jon, if he could bring Jon a letter from her. She knows Jon would believe her about the wizards and monsters. So cute. Yoren has news for Ned that is best spoken in private, so Ned gets his guard, Desmond, to take Arya to her room. On their way there, she asks Desmond how many guards her father has. He tells her 50. Then she says, "You wouldn't let anyone kill him, would you?" Desmond laughs and says no. Her father is guarded day and night. Arya points out that the Lannisters have more men, but Desmond says each Northerner is worth 10 Southrons. Arya asks, what if a wizard was sent to kill him? Desmond says, wizards die the same way as any other man, when you cut their heads off. And that's the end of the chapter. Wow. Lots of shit going on. It's a complicated plot.
Yeah. I like how the story slowly unravels through, like, the perspectives of each character. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite points of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and, like, everyone has a different perspective on it, and everyone knows different amounts of information. Mm-hmm. Some people know the same information, some people know different information, and it's really cool for the reader, because then we get the chance to kind of piece it together.
Yeah.
Whereas the characters don't have all the information, so they don't get that chance. Well, they do, but, you know.
Kind of reminds me, randomly, of Haunting on Hill House and how that story is unraveled.
Oh.
I'm watching it.
You're watching it again?
Yeah, I love it.
It's so good. I need to watch it again.
Man, it's so good.
Yeah. I've been thinking that I want to watch it again. How the fuck are we already at an hour?
Dude. Oh, my poo-poo break.
Oh, your poo break. Okay, let's do it. I'm keeping that in. Alright, let's whip through Eddard. Okay, chapter 33, Eddard. It's Eddard. It's Eddard. I just like saying Eddard.
Don't mind me.
Please forgive me, I'm saying Eddard on purpose. Ned is with the small council and the king, and he is begging Robert to not murder Daenerys Targaryen. Turns out that Robert has discovered that she is pregnant, thanks to Jorah Mormont's information that was passed to Varys. Robert believes that if Daenerys has a son, the Dothraki will come to Westeros and start a war. Are you... What are you doing?
Eating a coffee crisp.
I'm trying to talk. Did you just shove that whole thing in your mouth?
What?
Oh my god, Jessica. Here I am, trying to tell you a story about Eddard. And you're ripping open candies.
Please continue.
Oh my god. Robert believes that if Daenerys has a son, the Dothraki will come to Westeros and start a war. Ned thinks the murder of a child is a horrific act, and will not support Robert's desire to have Daenerys, her unborn child, and Viserys murdered. So they argue back and forth until Robert demands that the rest of the small council talk some sense into Ned. Varys says to Ned that it brings him no joy to do such a thing, but that the vile thing must be done for the good of the realm. Renly thinks Viserys and his sister should have been killed a long time ago, and that it was a mistake for Robert to choose not to kill them before on the council of Jon Arryn. So it seems like Jon Arryn had the same opinion as Ned and was like, yeah, don't be going around killing
children,
13-year-olds, you know?
Hey, she would
have been a lot younger. Oh, yeah. When Jon Arryn was first started his hand, yeah.
Yeah. Viserys was 8, and she was in her mama's womb.
Yeah.
Until she was born, and then they took off.
True. Ned thinks mercy is never a mistake, and he points out that Sir Barristan Selmy once fought for the Targaryens, and killed many of Ned's and Robert's men on the Trident. But once Sir Barristan had been wounded, Robert refused to kill him, saying he will not kill a man for loyalty. And Ned says to Robert, "Would that man were here today?" Which is like... his way of saying, like, where did that man go, Robert? Wow, the sass that Ned is working with right now. It's at critical levels. But also, Sir Barristan used to fight for the Targaryens. I didn't know that.
He was...
Fucking hell.
With Jaime, one of the Kingsguard.
Yeah.
And I think maybe for the one before King Aerys, too?
Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's old enough.
Yeah.
They go back and forth some more until Robert has had enough. He says he's the king, and asks what the rest of the small council thinks. Renly and Varys agree that Daenerys must be killed. Sir Barristan sides with Ned. He says there is no honor in killing an enemy in his mother's womb. This guy's all about honor.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Maester Pycelle says he bears this girl no ill will. He once counseled the Targaryens himself. However, he believes the effects would be catastrophic if a war were to take place. He thinks it would be wiser, even kinder, that the girl should die now so that they might avoid war and tens of thousands might live. Littlefinger, stifling a yawn, says that when you find yourself in bed with an ugly woman, the best thing to do is close your eyes and get on with it. Could he be any more scummy?
Gross!
But basically he's saying to kill her.
Yep.
Robert tells Ned that there's the verdict. Then he asks the group who may be willing to do it. Renly suggests Jorah Mormont, as he has been craving a royal pardon, but Varys says that the princess nears Vaes Dothrak, where it is death to draw a blade. He suggests poison, the Tears of Lys, which is the same poison that was used to kill Jon Arryn. Fun fact, just pointing that out. Just pointing that out, that Varys is suggesting this poison.
He has it?
Or does he? He must know how to get it.
Yeah.
Otherwise he wouldn't suggest it. Robert says poison is a coward's weapon, which makes Ned go, "Excuse?" He points out that Robert is sending hired knives to kill a 14-year-old girl, but still cares about his honor and how to kill her. Good point, Ned. He tells Robert that he should do it himself. Quote, "The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword," which is what he said to Bran in the very first chapter.
Yes.
He tells Robert to look into her eyes before he kills her, see her tears, hear her last words. Robert is pissed. He throws an empty flagon of wine and orders Ned to have it done. Ned tells Robert to do what he wants, but that he won't be a part of it. It takes Robert a second to understand what Ned is saying, but as soon as he does, he tells Ned that the hand of the king will do as the king commands, or the king will find a hand who will. Ned takes off his Hand of the King pin and is saddened by the memory of the man who pinned it on him. He tells Robert he thought he was a better man than this as he puts the pin on the table. Damn!
Man.
I quit! Robert is outraged. He orders Ned to get out, run back to Winterfell, and says that if he sees Ned's face again, he will have his head on a spike. This is fucking dramatic.
Yeah.
Holy shit. As Ned leaves, he hears the conversation continue immediately behind him, as if nothing ever happened. Grand Maester Pycelle suggests hiring the Faceless Men on Braavos, but Littlefinger says they're too costly.
Faceless men!
Faceless Men! Remember that. Remember that, audience. Ned hurries back to the Tower of the Hand and gets the steward, Vayon Poole, to start making arrangements to return to Winterfell. Poole thinks it will take a fortnight to make all the necessary arrangements, but Ned tells him they don't have a fortnight. They may not even have a day. Ned doesn't truly believe Robert would harm him, though. His rage always cools. But then Ned realizes that Rhaegar Targaryen has been dead for 15 years, but Robert still hates him as much as ever. He also knows that the business between Catelyn and Tyrion Lannister will come to light soon, and there's no telling what might happen then with the king in such a black fury. Disturbed by these thoughts, Ned tells Poole that he will go on ahead with his daughters and a few guardsmen, and the rest can follow when they're ready. Thank fuck, Ned. It's a good plan.
It is good. Came so close.
It's a good plan, Ned. Wish you had followed through.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Ned thinks it will be good to return to Winterfell to return to his sons. And maybe he and Catelyn can make a new son. But there's also still so much here that will be left undone. The money situation of the realm. Ned is worried it will be sold to the Lannisters to pay off their loans. And the whole business with Jon Arryn's murder. Ned then thinks about returning to Winterfell by sea. That way he can stop at Dragonstone and speak to Stannis Baratheon. He had sent a Raven with a polite request for Stannis to return to his seat on the small council a while ago, but there had been no reply, which Ned finds suspicious. Ned thinks about how some secrets are too dangerous to share, and he remembers Tyrion's knife and wonders why he would want Bran dead. Then he wonders if Robert could have been a part of it. Yikes.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have thought so before, but he also wouldn't have thought Robert was capable of killing women and children. Robert is not the man he remembers. So Ned tells Vayon Poole to instead go to the docks and find him a swift ship and a skilled captain. Poole leaves, and then guess who shows up to see Ned? Fucking
POS.
Piece of shit, Lord Baelish, Littlefinger.
Man, he was so close to escaping to
Ned, no! Why'd you let him in? Fuck! Littlefinger tells Ned that the king is pissed, and that he, Littlefinger, was left to convince the council not to hire the Faceless Men. If some sellsword drunk tries to kill Daenerys, he will likely fuck up and put the Dothraki on guard. But if they had sent a Faceless Man, she'd be as good as buried. So this gives us a sense of what the faceless men are like.
Yeah.
And remember, because they will be significant. Ned is like, you expect me to believe you were trying to help her? How big of a fool do you take me for, Littlefinger? Littlefinger says, quite an enormous one, and he laughs. He finds Ned amusing and says he rules like a man dancing on rotten ice, and he will make a noble splash. He then asks Ned when he will return to Winterfell. Ned shouldn't have answered.
Tell him to get the fuck out!
Ned says as soon as possible, because he's fucking honest and honorable for some fucking reason. But Littlefinger says that if Ned sticks around until the evening, he can take him to the brothel that Jory has been searching for so ineffectually. So Littlefinger's like, oh, don't leave yet, Ned. I'll take you to this place that you've been searching for. Eh? Tempted?
Like, no thanks.
Ned
I'm no longer the hand. Get the fuck out!
Yeah.
Bro. Came so close.
Anyway, we're way over time, so we're gonna stop it here. If you couldn't tell from our exasperated voices, shit is about to go down.
Yeah.
So definitely stick around for the next one. So if you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. The podcast is Tigbab Podcast, Tigbab. You can also follow us individually. Mine is Crimby and Jess's is Jess.Egan24. You can also find us on Facebook if you search Tigbab Podcast again, or just search Tea is Good, Books Are Better. You can find the page there. Please also check out our friend Baram Barami on YouTube. He made our jingle that you heard at the beginning of this episode, and he's super dope and deserves all the love in the world. So let's give him some. We also have a Patreon, so if you want to give us some extra support, you can check us out on there, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksArebetter. We do have some cool tiers with different rewards, so you will get something in return for your contribution, but we do just appreciate you listening as well. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening. Come back for the next one.
See you.
All right, bye.
Excuse me.
You are so nasty.